Cool, right, welcome back everyone. Back out on the beach again tonight fishing. Tonight I've just come for a little bit of a relaxed session. Me and my dad just popped down to a local market, so we've come down to Totland. I've actually fished Totland a few times in the last month, and I've had a couple of alright nights to be fair. Only had dogs, pout, a few eels, and I have had a bass as well actually on the first time I came here. But yeah, come down here tonight, a bit of a chill one. We've got some worm. Going to try target a plaice or a sole. Anything else we get other than that, obviously we'll take that with open arms, but the main target is plaice and a sole. Good chance for a thornback or a spotted ear as well. Had a bass here the other day, so a good chance for a bass. Obviously you won't be able to tell exactly where we are because it's in the dark, but I'm actually right underneath the pier now. I've actually got my light and my camera propped up against one of the pier pylons, so I'm fishing right next to the pier. Dad, you can probably see in the background, is about 30 yards just down tide from me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plop a couple of baits out down the side of the pier. Bit of ragworm, bit of sand eel or a bit of squid for a ray. And yeah, hopefully we can drag some in. The tide today is 3 AM high water. Time right now is about 6:30, so we're probably 2.5, 3 hours into the ebb roughly. It's quite a big tide. I think it's a 4.6 today, so I'm quite far down the beach to be honest with you. I don't think we're going to fish all the way to high water. Obviously low water is about 9 o'clock, give or take, so we're not going to fish all the way to high, but we'll definitely be fishing a few hours of the flood. So probably give it to about 11 o'clock. Happy to stay later as long as the fishing's all right and something inspires us to stay on a little bit, but if not, we're here for 4 or 5 hours. Hopefully we can pluck something out really. So I'll get this other rod set up and then I'll bring you back with rigs and baits and how I'm going to go about trying to catch a fish. Right, so I'll just give you a little show about what bait I've got. It's currently all in a load of water in this tub because it is frozen, but I've got a bag of squid here, then I've got a few anchovies, I've got another bag of squid, I've got a pout, I've got some of my own squid that I caught in autumn last year. I've got the last piece of that. That's like gold dust. A couple of cuttlefish in here as well. So all of this bait is reused from older sessions. Dad's got some worm over there that I'm going to add some of as well. So I'll get a bit of worm from Dad. I'll get these rigs baited up and then I'll show you what rigs I'm using them, how I bait them up, and why I'm using these rigs. And yeah, I'll get back to you. But just before I do this, actually wait, let me just make sure my mic's nice and high so you can actually hear me. But yeah, just before I do this and show you me baiting up and all of that, I just want to say thank you for all the support on the first video. I know it's going to take a little while to build up a bit of traction because obviously it's a brand new channel and that, but for those of you that have subbed and followed, thank you very much. And if you are new around here and you're watching this now and you like a bit of fishing, bear with me because in the next few months when the fishing starts to pick up a bit, I'll be getting into a few more interesting fish hopefully. But yeah, if you are new and you want to drop a sub, help me out, it'd be much appreciated. And yeah, I'll show you the baiting up and the rigs I'm going to use. Right, so in here I've got some worm, bit of ragworm I just got off my dad. Trace here I've got is just a 2-hook flapper, but it's got some little orange and green beads and a couple of sequins on it, down to a size 2 worm hook. This is a mustard size 2 worm hook. Rig body's about 4 foot. The most important thing about this rig that I like to try and keep consistent is how long my actual snood is, my hook length if you want to call it that. So these are at least 1.5 foot. This bottom one's probably pushing 2 foot. That's just so that I've got a nice natural flow and movement in the tide on my baits. And it also guarantees that my baits are going to be sitting on the floor. If I've got a really stubby one and I'm fishing at an angle, there's a chance that my bait isn't going to be flat on the ground. So natural movement, making sure that it's flat on the ground. And these beads and sequins are just for attraction because obviously I'm trying to catch a plaice or a sole and they're quite inquisitive and they do glow slightly in the dark. So obviously out there in that dark sea, they're going to stick out a little bit on this plain sand. So that's the theory. 2-hook flapper, and I'll just thread a few of these worms on and I'll get this chucked out. I'm not going to show you it too close up threading worm on because I'm pretty sure even the most entry-level beginner fishermen have threaded worms into a hook, but I like to thread mine on about 1 inch because when I like the fish to come from behind the worm up the back of it and eat up the back of the worm and then hook itself naturally. I don't like sliding it up due to the fact that there's a chance of the fish taking it from the head end that slid up past the hook. And in my mind, that just means that you've not got that much chance of actually hooking the fish. So I thread mine up about 1 inch and then just leave it tail dangling off and let it eat its way up the back of the worm, and then hook itself naturally on the hook. But yeah, that's that baited up. I have got a bit of a nasty crosswind blowing straight across me, so I'm not sure how well I'm going to be able to cast these. I don't want to cast them too hard, obviously, because I might end up ripping them and then falling off the hooks. But we'll give it a little bit of a tester on this first cast and see how we go. Right, so I've had a little bit of a mare. Number one, I've lost my baiting needle, not good. Number two, I've also forgot my rag, so far, going great. But all I've got here is I've just got an anchovy and a squid. Normally I would put this on a needle to lash this up, but obviously I don't have it, unfortunately. But yeah, just going to whip these together. Don't need to be too crazy. Just a small squid that I bought from the tackle shop in freshwater, and anchovies that I actually got from the tackle shop in freshwater as well, so nothing crazy. Just got anchovy that side, squid that side. Really wish I could wipe my hands off. I've got some tissue in there actually, I'll have to use a tissue, but yeah. All I'm going to do is, this is a hook length from a bagnall bar. I'll show you the actual rig in a second, but the way it works is you've got a very small, about 5-inch stretch where you actually hook your bait onto, and that then runs to a cascade, and then I'll show you how that cascade clips into the bar in a second. But at the minute I'm just going to nick this top hook through. I'm only using size 2/0s on this rig, nothing too big, just because I want it for a ray or maybe a turbot or something like that, because you do get turbot in here. So just whipping all the way around the hook, all the way down to the bend of the hook, and then mostly around the shank and the eye and the knot. That'll just help hold that hook in there nicely out the top. Then all I do is I just get my pennel hook. Some people have tubing, I don't. I just go around twice and hook it straight in and out the top of the squid like that. So that's my actual bait there ready. Let me just get this down into frame so you can see the actual rig itself. So this is the rig, bagnall bar, 20cm bar. Your hook length is as long as you want it to be within reason. As long as you don't go stupid, then you can basically have it as long as you want. So this bottom hook, I'm going to try to do this without turning my head torch on so I don't blind you guys. Hooks into an imp at the bottom here. That then runs up to the cascade, which you put into this little spring. I'll give you a little bit of a better look in a second. Oh, it's stuck, it's full of something. Where is it? There it is. So there you are, that then runs into there. So by that pink bead there's a cascade up here that your hook length clips into. That then locks it all into this bar. The reason I'm using this bar is, one, it's extremely aerodynamic. You don't have any worry about your rig stretching. It all clips into this and punches out behind your lead weight. And your whole rig body's 20cm plus your gripper on the bottom. So really streamlined, really compact. The minute this weight hits the bottom, the imp's going to flip up, it's going to release your hook bait, and then the tide's going to stretch your snood out to 5 or 6 foot, whatever you have it. You can have it 10 foot if you want, but 5 or 6 foot's more than enough. And then you've got a nice big anchored firm rig with a massive big flowing hook bait coming out the back of it. So, alright, so the time's 7:30. High water's supposed to be 3 a.m. But it's already starting to come in, so it's at least an hour and a half early. I've only been fishing, probably lines in the water, probably 45 minutes, and it's already coming in. I don't know if you can see it, but the waves are all around me, so I'm gonna have to move back in a second. I'm only on my bloody second cast, so a bit annoying, but it is a good thing because it means we get to fish more of the flood tide, which is the better tide down here, to be honest. So I'll have to move back up the side of this pier in a second, then tuck in further back. But yeah, quite surprised, but like I say, it is, theoretically it's a good thing, because flood tide normally fishes better in my experience down this part of Scotland. So, but yeah, big surprise. It was a little bite I just saw a second ago then. It looked like a little bite. Yeah, it's definitely a bite. Tiny bite though. Let's have a look at this. See what's on here. A little bit of weight on there. Don't know what it is though. Little doggy dog. First one of the night. Only a little dog, but we're off the mark. That dog was bouncing on there for a little while, but I wanted to make sure that it was... Oh my god, this hook's bent out. I wanted to make sure that it was on there because where I'm fishing for plaice and stuff, don't want to be too hasty with the bites. I want to try and let them develop in case it's a little flatfish or something playing with the bait and not a greedy dogfish. God, right, so that's that bait back out. There's some geezer that's come and stood right behind me and watching me. It making me feel pretty uneasy. Literally just stood there staring. But yeah, first fish on the board. Hopefully a few more to come. Right, so I've just moved. I've moved up onto the wall now, and I've just moved a little bit further down the beach away from the pier, more towards Colwell. But that bloke who turned up has been getting pissed up underneath the pier, and he's smoking loads of wacky backy and that, and I know at some point he's going to come over and start chewing my ear off, so I've moved out of the way so he can't talk to me. I'm sure he'll probably still come down here and waffle a load of stuff I don't care about, but you come fishing to get away from people, don't you? You don't want to end up sitting to some space cadet next to you chewing your bloody ear off, so... But yeah, moved up onto here. I was going to get pushed off soon anyway, but I was just going to tuck up next to the pier, but plans changed. So get these rods baited up again. Didn't have anything on the cast when I reeled them in, and I'll get them sent back out. Tide's coming in pretty quick, to be honest with you. And like I said earlier, it turned a lot earlier than it should have, so... It does sometimes turn early on springs, but this is very early, so... Right, so I've just got a new bait prepped on this Bagnall bar. As I said, I've just tried to make it as streamlined as possible, so what you can see here is 2 small squid lashed together, so I've done it head and head at opposite sides, so you've got a squid and an end, and how do I explain it? Yeah, you've got a squid head and an end of a tube at either side, so you've got a nice equal bait either side. Lashed it all down, clipped it down, and this is going to absolutely fly. I'll walk down on the beach to cast that worm rig, because I don't want to cast it too hard, but this one I'm just going to pelt off of this wall as far as I can, so we'll see how far we can get. I'm sure that I'll get a pretty decent cast off of it though. If I knew I was going to be fishing this far back from the water, I'd use my actual beach caster, but at the minute I'm fishing one beach caster and one bass rod, so not ideal, but when this tide comes up a bit more, give it another hour, it'll be pretty comfy then, I think. Won't have to worry about walking down to cast out my bass rod or anything. But yeah, I've had a dog, Dad's had a pout, a strap, and I think that's it. So we've had a few fish. Plenty of bait left though. Time's now 8:30. We've got probably 2.5 hours left, stay to 11. Both got work tomorrow, so don't want to stay too late. But yeah, we'll just keep chugging along and hopefully we can pluck out a few fish. Right, so it's been pretty much a dead zone really. Tide's bumping in quite a lot now. It's up underneath the wall here now. But yeah, not really any bites. Dad's had a few bites and he's had another dog since I last spoke to you. But it's getting towards a better stage of the tide now. It's been coming in for probably 2 hours, maybe just over 2 hours. So there's more and more water in front of us. We're probably fishing in 4 or 5 feet now in casting range. So plenty of water now for any species that we're targeting. It's just if there's anything coming into the bay tonight really. Wind seems like it's gone off a little bit. There's a little bit of a chop in now, you can probably hear it in the background. As these waves are coming in and the volume of water's building up now, there's a little bit of a swell coming in, which is quite nice. But yeah, no fish as of yet. We're going to give it another hour and a half and see if we catch anything, and if not, we'll probably just clear off home, and then if we do and we're feeling inspired to stay, we'll probably stay till midnight, but we'll just have to see how we go. I'm just going to get these rods in now, give them a little check, give them a little bait refresh, and then yeah, hopefully settle in and pluck some out later. What are you bringing over here, Dad? You little bugger, he's got a Plaice, I can see it from here. You're having me on. That better not be a Plaice. It is, isn't it? You're joking me. I seen you walking along here and I said he better not have a Plaice. Is that a Plaice?
A dab.
Oh, it's a little dab. Wow. Look at that, look. That's class. Wow, just look at him, look. You're lucky that hook got through his mouth. Tiny little thing.
I've probably been robbing all the baits, I suspect.
Them little bites you've been having, you reckon they were these?
Yeah,
Let's make sure we get a good little shot of this bad boy. Look at that little puppy. Wow, that's so cool. That's the first one I think I've ever actually seen in real life. What a little beauty.
Really lovely, isn't it?
That's well cool, that is. I'm happy we said that now.
Yeah, we don't see many of them, do we?
Oh, that's ace.
There's one caught the other week, wasn't there?
Look at that, look. Basically see-through on the underneath. You can just faintly sort of, you can almost faintly see inside him, can't you, like?
Can you do?
With that light on, yeah.
You can see through him.
Wow, that's so cool. Well done.
Yeah,
well done, you. That's ace, that is. I just saw it flapping around in the wind and I thought, there's no way you've got a Plaice. Yeah, let him go down there, yeah. Wow, get in. Well done, Dad. All right, we're staying here until 3 in the morning now till I get one. I'd be made up if I had one, I tell you. Pretty confident I just had a little bite on that other rod. Yeah, I have. Right, so while that's going, I'll just talk you through what I've done. So obviously Dad's just had that little dab there, and we've got a fair bit of worms, so I've switched this rod over here, it's still going, onto a 3-hook flapper. So 3-hooks, yeah, I'm about to say 3-hook flapper, I'll explain to you what that means. But yeah, all 3-hooks have got worm on, 6-ounce strip on the bottom, big long snoods, like I said earlier. And yeah, we're going to plop this one out here, and since we've got enough worm, realistically if I'm using fish baits, I'm probably just going to attract congers and dogfish, but if there's a few dabs or flatties around, just try and maximise out and try to catch one of them, because I've never caught a dab, I've never caught a Plaice, so how good would it be to get one? So we'll get these ones sent out, and hopefully that bite there develops into a Plaice or a dab. I'm not fussy, as long as it's flat. I've been getting a little bite on this bass rod for probably about 10 minutes, and it's sort of stopped now, so I'm going to lift it up and just see if it was a bite. It did look very fishy to me, but I'm just going to reel it in, just have a little check, because where Dad's had that little dab there, the movement that I was doing is what I would assume a fish like that would sort of bite like. I've never caught a dab, so it's hard to tell, but we'll reel it up, have a little investigate, see if there's any worm left on it. I'll see if the worm's even been had a go at, and then we'll know if it was actually a bite or not, and then we'll know potentially what to look for. So we'll give this little bass rod a reel in, just see if there is anything on here or if there's been some activity, because it definitely did look like it. There's some weight there. Don't know what it is, but feels really heavy, so I don't know if it's going to be what I was hoping for, but that is not a dab, unfortunately. There's a really subtle bite for a dog though, like really subtle. Like, if I wasn't staring at my rod tip I wouldn't have noticed it, so unfortunately not what I wanted. Still going. Whatever that is on there, I'm sure of it. Let's have a little look, shall we? See if there's anything on it. There's something on it, and I'm going to assume it's a dogfish because it's pretty heavy. Can hardly move it. Might be more than one. That's moving now. Another little doggy dog. Nothing crazy, but keeping the bites coming, ain't it? I was having a little rattle on that other rod as well, so I'll give it a little second longer and just leave it. Then I'll pick it up. But another little dog. You alright, Dad? I thought I saw a little bite on this. I was hoping it wasn't going to be one of these though. Tiny little pout. Nice change to seeing a dogfish. Little beauty. Luckily for him, he's going back. It's not his unlucky day today. But a welcome difference from a dogfish. As this tide's starting to come up a bit, we're getting more and more bites. We've seen Dad's had a few fish over there. I've had 3-4 fish in the last hour maybe, and bites every cast, so it's quite encouraging now. Cool, right, so just reeled the last cast in. Haven't had anything for a little while, but it's almost midnight now, so we've given it a good go. We've actually managed to use most of the worm. We had about 3/4 pound, but between us, sort of peppering out worm all night, we've actually managed to use basically all of it, which is pretty good. Normally end up throwing a load back in the water, but yeah, pretty good night overall really. I had 4 or 5 dogs and a pout. Dad had probably 4 or 5 dogs, a couple of straps, and he also had that lovely little dab, so really nice to see something like that come out. It's the first one I've ever actually seen in person, so that was really cool. I wish I got it, I'm a bit jealous really, but it's nice to know that we came out trying to catch flatties. Admittedly, we were trying to catch a plaice or a sole, but we're counting it. But yeah, it's really nice to know that we come out with worm, with flapper rigs for flatties, and collectively we caught a flatty. Like I said, I'd much rather me caught it, but it's only the second one Dad's ever caught, and he's been fishing his whole life, so it just shows you that they're not a common catch. I do know someone else that actually caught one down here a little while ago, about 3 weeks ago, so there must be a few about, I guess. And they are a winter species, but you just don't get them like you used to apparently. Apparently before I was born they used to be real plentiful in the winter, but not so much now, so nice to see one of them come out. So yeah, really good night. Hope you've all enjoyed watching. If you have, drop us a like, and if you're new around here, well, anyone's going to be new around here, it's a new channel, so if you either just found me or you're just discovering that I've made a new channel, drop a sub and help me out. I've probably only got about 30 subs at the time of filming this, so any subs appreciated. And yeah, thank you for watching, appreciate the view, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.